Morning, all. All right, quick news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Thursday, May the 15th. Halfway through May already. Wow. All right, so the Vancouver Canucks at the top of the board because they got the Tom Willander signing over the finish line. Apparently, it was not a whole lot of money that was separating the team and the players, so I'm glad they got this done. Willander does sign the ELC, but he will not be joining the Abbotsford Canucks for their playoff run. I believe their series gets started tomorrow. So Willander apparently doesn't want to take a job away from current Abbotsford Canucks, and he's doing all of his training and everything, so this just keeps everything as it is. And yeah, Abbotsford's been doing pretty well so far. We'll see if that continues to be the case. Rick Tocchet's contract with the Philadelphia Flyers is a 5-year deal to be their head coach, $5.25 million per season. So, not too bad for a head coach. Rick Tocchet was very good in Vancouver that first full season that he was there. So I would not be surprised if Philadelphia sees a similar effect that first year in Philly with Tocchet behind the bench. And yeah, we'll see how everything goes there. So we have 2 games tonight in the National Hockey League. Both of them are elimination games, of course. Carolina leads 3-1. Washington's at home trying to stave off elimination. And then 2.5 hours later, at least the posted start times are 2.5 hours apart. We know the actual puck drop will be more of a 9:50 Eastern, 6:50 Pacific between Dallas and Winnipeg in Winnipeg. And for Winnipeg, this is a must-win. So both games, the home teams have to win. Both of them are the teams that finished first in their conference, and the teams that are trying to knock them out at this point are starting to become a bit of an arch nemesis, aren't they? Although for Winnipeg, one question that was asked about Winnipeg recently, and I'll talk about it here, is are Winnipeg becoming basically what Toronto was or has been, just the Western version of the Toronto Maple Leafs? And I think there's something to that. I'll be getting into teams that got eliminated from the playoffs today. I'll be starting that series on the channel, but it's possible Washington and Winnipeg find themselves out. And what's interesting, too, is somebody pointed this out in the comments last night, and it hadn't occurred to me fully at that point, but yeah, we could end up with the exact same 4 teams in the conference finals as we had last year. So it does bring to mind the question of parity, right? So if you have the same 4 teams in back-to-back years that make it, is there really parity at that point? Is it a coincidence? But yeah, so Dallas could finish things off tonight. Carolina could finish things off tonight. And for Winnipeg and Washington, I expect some desperate hockey. And of the two, I give Washington a bit better of a chance, I think, of staying in this. Winnipeg just, I don't know. Anyways, we'll see how things turn out with these games tonight. Let me know your thoughts, predictions, and all that in the comment section below. The Edmonton Oilers with their win last night. This is the first time that the Oilers have reached the conference finals in back-to-back years since their heyday. From 1990 until 1992, those 3 straight years they made the conference finals. That's the last time that there was any consecutive conference final appearances for the Edmonton Oilers. So there you go. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and the team that's been built, it's paying off right now for the Oilers. It's the Corey Perry effect too, right? Corey Perry kind of has to get far in the playoffs. That's just the whole shtick. And so he's still looking for another Stanley Cup ring. He did get a Stanley Cup ring as a member of the Ducks. That was a long time ago. So he would like to have another, and the Oilers are trying to provide that for him. And they could very well be the only Canadian team left when we get to the conference final. We shall see. Jumping down to the bottom here, so Stolarz is doubtful to travel for Game 6 with the Leafs to Florida because he has a concussion. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, a lot of talk today about the booing, jerseys being thrown on the ice, and just the general malaise that's come over a lot of Leaf fans. I think it's just, it's year 9. It's year 9. It's unacceptable on any level that you go out on home ice in a series that's tied 2-2 and come out with that kind of effort. They were out. The shot attempts were 33-12 in the first period for Florida. So it just tells you that Florida came out and they were attacking right away, put Toronto on their back foot, and Toronto never really recovered from it. So while Woll could have been better at points during last night's game, Woll was excellent in the first period, and the Leafs still didn't give him that goal support. And, of course, at the other end of the ice, you got Bobrovsky, who started to round into form like he did last year in the playoffs. So it's just all around a picture that is not a great one for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I've talked before about how they need to make big changes. I even thought about making a Leafs video today, but instead I thought, no, I'll throw them at the bottom of the board and just have a little discussion, because it does feel like things have to change in Toronto this summer. But I've said that before. Other people have said it before, and then they just kind of roll it back. So we'll see what happens. PWHL last night, the Minnesota Frost eliminated the Toronto Scepters in overtime, 4-3. So Minnesota wins 3-1, and they have a chance to defend their championship in the final against the winner of Ottawa and Montreal. Montreal picked the Ottawa Charge. They were the number one team. They had a choice of picking their opponent in the first round. They picked Ottawa. Ottawa leads that series 2-1. Game 4 goes tomorrow. So Montreal has to win that game. Then they got to win Game 5, or else we're going to have Ottawa and Minnesota in the final of the PWHL playoffs, and that could be entertaining. In the AHL last night, Laval beat Rochester 5-4. So Laval leads that series 1-0. And tonight, just one game in the AHL. It's Milwaukee in Texas against the Stars. So the Admirals and the Stars go at it tonight, and we'll see how things go in that one. But obviously, Texas looking to get a win. Dallas looking to get a win. Parent organization and the AHL version of both looking to get some playoff victories. And if Dallas gets this one tonight, it's a huge one, and then would put them in a series against the Edmonton Oilers. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.